Hello again. I've long been fascinated by the meaning and use of words and the way that some words change their meaning or change their use. It's not surprising, really. After all, words are bread and butter to me. I earn my living by the use of words. I was thinking the other day of the way in which the word asylum has not changed its actual meaning over the last 200 years or so, but is now used for a very different purpose than it was 50 or 60 years ago. When I was a child, asylum was synonymous with loony bin. There was an asylum in Goodmayes, not far from my home in Ilford. It was in Barley Lane, which accordingly became known locally as Barmy Lane. Of course, by that time it was technically known as a mental hospital, although everybody referred to it locally as the asylum. When I was a kid, if one did something especially irrational, one would be warned, carry on like that and you'll end up in the asylum or you'll end up in Barmy Lane. This was the old use of the word, and it meant a place of refuge or safety. The asylum was where mad people were kept safely. It was a sanctuary for them. We used to talk about orphan asylums too in Victorian times. In the 1960s, though, a new use for the word became current. This was when defectors, usually Russians, were in Britain or America or other Western country for some reason or other and decided that they wished to stay. They were said to claim asylum. I remember when first I heard this phrase, it sounded very odd to me because asylum and madness were in my mind inextricably linked. The asylum was a place rather than something which one claimed. The first time I heard this expression was when Rudolf Nureyev, the ballet dancer, claimed asylum in France in 1961. For the next 50 years or so, that was how one thought of asylum. It wasn't anything to do with mad people or mental hospitals anymore. It was something which the occasional high-profile foreigner did when he was in Europe or America. These days, of course, asylum is thought of exclusively in connection with the illegal immigration of foreigners to our country. It is now a word which is only ever thought of in connection with mass migration of people from Africa and Asia. In the last week, another 1,400 of them have crossed the English Channel to claim asylum in our country. I suspect that this particular association with the word asylum is likely to last for some years, although it will, of course, eventually change. Anyway, I was just intrigued to think how the word has been used variously in the course of my own lifetime, being linked to different social phenomena, although never once losing its essential meaning, which is of sanctuary or refuge.